If current trends continue, there will be no globally significant wild areas left on the planet in less than a century, and many species will be driven into extinction. Many people feel overwhelmed by the continuing destruction of wilderness and habitat, but feel helpless to make a difference. This is a story of a group of concerned citizens, including scientists, activists, and artists, who recognize that the extraordinary ecosystem in their region was threatened and who have acted to protect it. In the early 2000s, Genstar Development Company proposed a large housing project at the mouth of the Stave River on Silvermere Island. Dr. Marvin Rosenau, a fisheries biologist and senior fisheries scientist with the BC Ministry of the Environment, examined the environmental impact of this proposal and stated that it constituted one of the most damaging development projects he had ever reviewed, and that this would be the hill to die on because it was worth saving. He did die on that hill. Dr. Rosenau was pulled from the project and his ministry position after Genstar complained to Premier Gordon Campbell.
It's extraordinarily salmonid rich. The 5 Pacific salmon and the 2 Pacific trout were in that area. There is an extremely large chum salmon population in that part, and it's a natural chum population. In addition to that, the federal government has been stocking coho salmon, and the provincial government's stocking cutthroat trout and steelhead. So it's a lovely little fishery. An enormous number of people have found this particular watershed to be, this lower part of the Stave, to be an exceptionally good opportunity to fish for salmon. So it's economically, socially, ecologically, and probably spiritually a really great place. There's a whole host of other organisms that basically depend on the chum. And so Silvermere Island was going to be developed, and it was going to be basically scorched earth. The proposal was to really obliterate this landscape.
Mission's urban reserve is 3 times the size of Stanley Park, 3,400 acres. In 2008, Mission City Council received a proposal from Genstar Development Company to develop the first 440 acres of the reserve with a massive housing development. This is an ecologically sensitive area and is home to at least 113 species, including some species at risk. Mission City Council had to take the proposal to the public through a public hearing process. Dr. Tracy Lister, a Mission resident and the chair of CAUSE, Citizens Against Urban Sprawl Society, describes her experiences.
CAUSE participated in opposition to this big development. It was extremely frustrating for us when we presented all of the science and all of our concerns to be met with deaf ears. We needed to speak directly to the public, educate them about exactly what was at stake here in Silverdale. And that's when we started to publish the Footprint Press magazine. This has changed the focus of our efforts from one of extreme frustration and futility into one of joy and love and a lot of hope. We get to reach out and meet people at all sorts of events like the Bald Eagle Festival and the Farmers Market. There's no end to people now that want to contribute to the magazine. Their photographs, their art, their poetry, their science. And people are learning about the area in a very positive way. This is my friend Peter Gong, and we are really honored that he's contributed his artwork to the Footprint Press.
When it comes to environmental things, I never really took any action. I don't go to protests and stuff like that. So I thought this would be a way that I could put my 5 cents into the whole mix. So it's my way of stepping up to the plate and doing something. Yeah, I feel real good about contributing art to the magazine.
Well, I think that CAUSE and Footprint Press and groups like it are really important in terms of educating public. It's part of a kind of the counteraction to the bad stuff that's happening here environmentally.